screening program, AB 1559. Good afternoon. Welcome. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, AB 1559 will add a devastating rare disease called adrenoleukodystrophy to the mandatory newborn screening program in California. Adrenoleukodystrophy, or ALD for short, is an X chromosome-linked genetic disorder that's passed down from mother to son. It's popularized actually by the movie Lorenzo's Oil, if you've seen that movie. Once the symptoms shows, it progresses quickly, and it's too late to do anything meaningful to save the boy. Our knowledge about and ability to combat this disease has increased greatly in the past decades, including treatments that can cure patients if caught early enough, but usually before symptoms show up. This makes it imperative, both medically and morally, that we catch this disease as early as humanly possible, and which makes ALD the perfect candidate for newborn screening. The recently developed newborn screening method has a very low false positive rate. It's been reviewed by the federal government. This bill has received bipartisan support throughout the process, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote. I have witnesses in support.
Thank you very much. Will you please state your name and position?
Mr. Chairman,
There you go. It's on. Push it again. There you go. It's on.
my name is Patty Chapman. I am president of the Mylan Project, sponsor of this bill. I have watched two of my brothers die from this horrific disease, and my 30-year-old son is now symptomatic. He suffers from AMN, the adult form of the disease. He walks with the cane, falls frequently, and will be in a wheelchair very soon. It will not be long until the disease steals his life. There are no words that truly capture the anguish this disease brings to victims and their families. My personal experience with ALD has caused me to make fighting the illness my life's work. If California will follow New York's lead and test newborns for ALD, we are on the verge of historic progress in combating this disease. There are hundreds of families like mine living in the constant pain of ALD. We can stop this. We have to stop ALD. AB 1559 will prevent any other California families from experiencing the devastation of ALD that we have all experienced. We need to start testing for ALD immediately. I plead with all of you to vote aye on AB 1559. Thank you very much.
My name is Gina Cousineau, and I'm from San Clemente, California. These are my 9.5-year-old twins, Evan and Elena, at a family wedding in April of 2007. 2 weeks later, Evan had a seizure that led to his diagnosis with ALD. 6 months from his diagnosis, due to this late diagnosis, we lost Evan the night before he and his twin sister's 10th birthday. Had newborn screening existed in 1997, Evan would be alive and vibrant today, having just celebrated their 16th birthday together. Today, you have the ability to put in place a simple procedure that will save the lives and spare families the agony of watching our boys die slow, painful deaths. Please help save our boys.
Good afternoon. Thank you for listening to me today. My name is Janice Sherwood, and I am from Vista, California in San Diego County. I'm here to speak on behalf of all ALD boys whose voices have been silenced and share my story. I, too, lost my 8-year-old son, Sawyer, to ALD 6 months after his diagnosis 10 years ago. Prior to this, he was what we believed to be a perfectly normal child. He played Little League for 3 years and was known among his peers and coaches as a player with the best arm. He wanted to play professionally when he grew up. He never got to realize that dream. Around his 7th birthday, he began exhibiting some of the most common symptoms of ALD, but he was diagnosed with everything but ALD. I had asked his pediatrician if we should do a CAT scan to make sure something more serious wasn't causing these symptoms, and was told that there was nothing neurologically wrong that would warrant the expense of one. He was wrong. 3 weeks later, Sawyer suffered complete adrenal failure, and we nearly lost him then. He was kept in a medicated coma for a week while they desperately tried to find out what was wrong. It wasn't until a neurologist who had some experience with ALD recommended the tests. Unfortunately, they confirmed the diagnosis. He said Sawyer was too far progressed for treatment other than cortisone therapy. He told us to take him home and make him comfortable. He told us he would be in a vegetative state within 6 months to 2 years, followed by death. Words no parent should ever hear. The news devastated us, but we weren't going to give up. I learned as much as I could about ALD. I took him to multiple doctors for further evaluation, and I ended up educating all of them about ALD. Over the next month, he had tumor Addisonian crisis due to insufficient dosing of cortisone, which caused a rapid decline, preventing a bone marrow transplant from being a viable option for him. Had we done the CAT scan when I asked for one, we may have had a very different outcome. He was able to finish out the ball season, but his sister had to help him run the bases in the right direction. But he was not able to return to school. His vision declined, followed by his hearing and his ability to speak. He then lost his ability to walk and then to swallow. He passed peacefully in our home with the aid of hospice. After Sawyer died, I started a charity, Fight ALD, Fighting Illness Through Education, to educate medical professionals about the early onset symptoms and simple, inexpensive blood tests to diagnose it in its early stages. After visiting 3,200 medical facilities across 48 states over the last 5 years, I learned that many pediatricians are still not familiar with ALD, let alone are able to diagnose it. Newborn screening would provide all families with life-saving information and prevent them from having to live through the nightmare that so many others have. We should not continue to lose innocent children when there is an early diagnostic test available.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Hill. My son, Jeremy Jr., has ALD and suffers from the effects of late diagnosis of the disease. Jeremy was a healthy boy that enjoyed all the activities that other kids his age. His grades were among the top of the school. When Jeremy was 9, he started to have his grades slipping, and his handwriting became to the point to where his mother and I couldn't even read it. And by the end of the school year, his grades fell below average. We were very concerned. We took Jeremy to his pediatrician, and we were told that Jeremy had ADHD. After a few months, Jeremy started to get really confused and would trip over himself numerous times a day. We took Jeremy back to his pediatrician and asked for a CAT scan or MRI. But we were denied when the doctor said he sees us every day and there is nothing to be concerned about. Shortly thereafter, we went on a family vacation to the beach, and I took Jeremy deep-sea fishing for the first time. Jeremy not only caught the most fish on the boat that day, but he also caught the biggest fish winning the jackpot. The next morning, July 30th, 2011, Jeremy didn't wake up. We rushed him over to the hospital, and then Jeremy went into a grand mal seizure. It was the first one ever. A MRI was performed, revealing white matter on his brain, and for the first time in our lives, we heard the words adrenal leukodystrophy. And we were told Jeremy had 6 months to 1 year to live. Even though Jeremy was diagnosed very late, we went to Minnesota to go under a bone marrow transplant to save his life. The day after Jeremy's treatment, he suffered his second seizure. When he woke up, he asked his mom to turn on the lights. That was the last day Jeremy's seen. Jeremy's transplant is the reason why he is here today, 3 years and 4 months later. However, what I wouldn't give to have known ALD when it was possible to do something more about it. Newborn screening can give babies born with adrenal leukodystrophy their life back. When a child is born, parents pray that our baby is healthy and that we will get to see them live happy adult lives. Thanks to advances in medical technology, we now have the ability to detect and treat many life-threatening diseases before they cause serious harm. Adrenal leukodystrophy is one of them, and I urge all of you to allow this to be part of California's addition to newborn screening. Newborn screening saves lives. Had it been in place when Jeremy was born, it would have prevented him from having all the challenges he has and would have saved those that love him a lot of pain.
So is this Jeremy? Hey, Jeremy, how you doing? Why don't we put the mic up?
My name is Jeremy Hill. Junior. This bill would help children like me before they get sick. Please start testing people as soon as possible. I mean, it just as a blood test.
You know, Jeremy, you did a great job. I really appreciate that. Yeah. But you know what I was most impressed is you caught the biggest fish. Did you catch a bigger fish than your dad?
I was going to catch the most and the biggest, and it got me a link copy of the live at the dinosaur time.
Good.
And I'm not going to think I caught that before I came when I had my first seizure. I one of them from the dinosaur time.
Good job, Jeremy. Good job. Thank you for being here, and thanks for your testimony. Anyone else like to speak in support of the measure?
Thank you. I'm Greg Benton. On behalf of the Milan Project, strong support of Bill AB 1559. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Christy Bauma, representing the California Professional Firefighters, pleased to be in strong support.
Thank you.
Victoria Stewart with the California Healthcare Institute in strong support.
Terry Kelger-Hill on behalf of Children's Hospital Oakland.
Doug Chippett on behalf of the Union of American Physicians and Dentists with AFSCME. We commend Dr. Pan's leadership as a pediatrician in bringing this bill forward, and we strongly support it. Thank you.
Thank you.
California's disability rights in strong support.
Thank you.
Dr. Pan.
Anyone else in support? Anyone in opposition? Questions or comments from any of the members? Do we have a motion?
The bill and add a co-author if you have occasion.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, and we have a motion by Senator Nielsen. Seeing no other comment, thank you for bringing this bill. I will be supportive of the measure. Would you like to close?
Thank you, Senator Hernandez. We have an effective test for this disease. Statistically, 40 children in California born each year with this. We can make a difference, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. We have AB 1559 due pass to appropriations. Call the members.
Hernandez.
Aye.
Hernandez, aye. Morel. Bell. Aye. Bell, aye. De Leon. Desaulniers. Evans. Munning. Nielsen. Aye. Nielsen, aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Currently has 4. We're short a vote. We'll place that bill in call. Thank you.